This channel covers real cases at the intersection of crime and accountability. In today's video, Cops Faces Evil Teacher Christina Formella Arrested, we examine the allegations of inappropriate conduct with a minor, what investigators say happened, and the legal process ahead. Viewer discretion is advised. All individuals are presumed innocent until proven guilty, and will avoid graphic details while focusing on facts, context, and resources for survivors. Chapter 1. The Unraveling. Downers Grove, Illinois, March 15, 2025. The quiet suburban evening in Downers Grove was shattered for one family. Sarah, a mother, was setting up her son Jack's new iPhone, a routine task that quickly turned into a nightmare. As she synced the device with his iCloud, a flood of old text messages appeared. Among them were exchanges with Christina Formella, Jack's 30-year-old special education teacher and soccer coach. The messages were deeply disturbing. "I love you so much, Mama," one read. Another, even more explicit, stated, "I love having with you." Sarah's heart pounded as she scrolled, the words painting an undeniable picture of a forbidden, predatory relationship. What had begun as innocent tutoring sessions had spiraled into nearly 2 years of abuse, with over 40 secret encounters. Sarah's cry of anguish brought her husband Mark rushing into the room. He saw the damning evidence on the screen, his face contorting from disbelief to horror, then to a searing rage. Their world, their sense of security, was irrevocably shattered. They knew, with chilling certainty, that by the next morning, March 16th, the police would have to be involved. The quiet suburban night had become a crucible of revelation, exposing a truth that would shock not just their family, but an entire school district and community. The night was long, filled with tearful conversations and the terrifying uncertainty of what lay ahead. Chapter 2. The Facade Crumbles. Christina Formella, born December 29, 1994, had cultivated an image of responsibility and dedication. She studied at Concordia University in Chicago, where she met her future husband, Michael. They married in August 2024, just months before her double life would be exposed. By 2020, Formella was a special education teacher at Downers Grove South High School, a role demanding immense trust and ethical conduct. She also volunteered as a soccer coach, further embedding herself in the lives of her students and their families. Beneath this professional facade, Formella was building a dangerous, illicit relationship. Jack, a talented teenage soccer player with special education needs, was placed under her guidance in early 2023. An unfortunate broken collarbone provided Formella with more opportunities for one-on-one tutoring sessions, which became the fertile ground for a sinister connection. The boundaries quickly blurred. Professional conversations shifted to personal ones, moving from school messaging apps to private phone numbers, a deliberate step into secrecy. Flirtatious texts became a constant stream, and games of iMessage pools served to maintain constant contact, normalizing their illicit communication. Then, the unthinkable occurred. Court documents later revealed that during one tutoring session, Formella locked the classroom door, transforming a place of learning into a site of exploitation. From that moment, she employed manipulation, secrecy, and emotional control to maintain and deepen the relationship, ensuring Jack's silence and compliance. She became the architect of his deception, weaving a narrative that made him feel complicit, special, and trapped. Chapter 3. The Digital Confession. The messages uncovered by the police painted a disturbing, almost pathological picture of Christina Formella's control and manipulation. The phrase, "I love you so much, Mama," was particularly chilling, blurring the lines between maternal affection and romantic obsession, a perverse inversion of roles that further confused and entrapped Jack. This intense, personalized attention from an adult in authority could be intoxicating for a teenager seeking identity and belonging, making it incredibly difficult for Jack to recognize the abuse. Other messages like "I love having with you" hinted at the explicit nature of their encounters without needing to be overtly graphic. The implication was clear. These were not innocent meetings. They spoke of shared physical intimacy, of moments stolen in secret, further cementing the illicit nature of their bond. The casualness with which these profound violations were discussed in text messages underscored Formella's brazen disregard for the law. her professional ethics, and Jack's well-being. The shift from school-sanctioned communication platforms to private phone numbers was a deliberate act of concealment, moving their conversations out of any official oversight and creating a private, clandestine world where Formella dictated the rules. This digital isolation was a key component of her control. The games of iMessage pool, seemingly trivial, provided a constant, innocuous pretext for contact, a way to keep Jack engaged and connected to her without raising immediate suspicion. Each game, each text, was a thread in the web she was weaving around him, tightening her grip. Perhaps most damning were the contents of her phone's notes app. These weren't casual jottings, they were private writings, a chilling window into her twisted psyche. In these notes, she accused Jack of cheating, a blatant projection of her own infidelity and a desperate attempt to control his emotional landscape. She wrote, "You're mine, and I'm the best thing you'll ever have," revealing a possessiveness that bordered on obsession. These were not the words of a teacher protecting a student. They were the manipulative, self-serving words of an adult clinging desperately to a forbidden relationship, built on power imbalance, profound betrayal, and a disturbing sense of entitlement. The audacity of her deception was staggering. Even while vacationing in Italy with her husband, Formella maintained constant contact with Jack. Her phone, a conduit for her illicit affair, buzzed with secret messages, a stark contrast to the romantic backdrop of her honeymoon. This demonstrated a deep-seated pattern of deceit, a willingness to risk everything for the continuation of her forbidden relationship. The digital evidence was irrefutable, a damning testament to Formella's calculated manipulation and Jack's prolonged ordeal. Chapter 4: The Arrest and Interrogation. The morning of March 16th dawned cold and gray, mirroring the mood within Jack's home. The police had been contacted, the evidence presented, and now the family waited. Meanwhile, Christina Formella was driving through Downers Grove with her husband Michael, oblivious to the storm gathering. Bodycam footage captured the precise police operation. Officers initiated a traffic stop. Formella, in the passenger seat, looked confused, then terrified, as officers calmly explained they needed her to step out. She asked if she was in trouble, begged for her husband to come along, and at one point whispered that she felt sick enough to throw up. "Do you have your license on you?" an officer asked. "Yes." "You're Christina?" "Yes." "Christina, do me a favor. Can you step out of the car for me?" Her confusion deepened. "I don't understand what's going on here. We do have an investigation going on. We have to talk to you about it at the police department. We do have to bring you there, though. So, I do have to put you in handcuffs." The click of the handcuffs was stark. "Am I in trouble? Like I'm so lost right now," she pleaded. "You're being detained for investigation and we're bringing you to the police department," the officer stated. In the patrol car, Formella's composure shattered. "I have a feeling I'm going to throw up. You want a bag?" the officer asked. "Yes, please." Her double life was about to be exposed. At the police department, Formella initially denied everything, feigning shock. But detectives methodically presented the evidence, the damning text messages, the explicit content, the dates and times corresponding with school hours and her own incriminating notes. Each piece chipped away at her facade. The turning point came from Jack. Initially, shame and fear led him to disclose only one incident. But detectives, building trust with patience and empathy, encouraged him to speak. Over several days, Jack bravely revealed the full, horrifying truth. Nearly 50 encounters across almost 2 years, 45 of them on school grounds. The sheer volume and audacity of the abuse sent shockwaves through the police department. The investigation expanded dramatically, meticulously documenting each instance, and the legal system prepared to move swiftly. Chapter 5: Community in Crisis. The news of Christina Formella's arrest hit Downers Grove like a seismic shockwave. In a community proud of its schools, the revelation of a teacher's predatory behavior was a profound violation of collective trust. The Downers Grove South High School District found itself in an unprecedented crisis. Formella was immediately placed on administrative leave, but this offered little comfort. For the hundreds of students, staff, and families who had trusted Formella, the emotional turmoil was immense. Teachers struggled to reconcile her image with the allegations. Students, particularly those in her special education classes or on the soccer team, grappled with confusion, anger, and fear, feeling personally betrayed. Parents were gripped by anxiety, questioning the safety of their children and the efficacy of safeguarding measures. School counselors were deployed, and assemblies were held to address the emotional fallout. The broader community reacted with outrage and disbelief. Downers Grove was a place where teachers were often revered. The idea that such an act could occur within their institutions was unfathomable. Local coffee shops buzzed with angry conversations, and online forums exploded with condemnation. The collective sense of violation was palpable, a stain on the community's reputation. Within weeks, Formella resigned and surrendered her teaching license, effectively ending her career. While a small measure of justice, it did little to heal the deep wounds inflicted upon Jack, his family, and the entire community. The school district initiated a comprehensive review of its policies, desperately seeking to understand how such a breach could have occurred and how to prevent it. The crisis forced a painful introspection, a re-evaluation of what it meant to truly protect the most vulnerable. Chapter 6. The Grand Jury and Legal Battle. The legal system moved with unyielding force. The initial charges of 3 felonies against Christina Formella were just the beginning. As the investigation deepened, fueled by Jack's courageous testimony and extensive digital evidence, the true scope of Formella's crimes became horrifyingly clear. By May 2025, a grand jury, after reviewing the evidence, handed down a dramatic indictment. Formella was now facing a staggering 55 counts, including multiple felonies carrying potential consecutive sentences. The charges encompassed predatory criminal sexual assault, aggravated criminal sexual abuse, and other related crimes against a minor. If convicted on all counts, she faced at least 60 years in prison, a lifetime behind bars for the systematic destruction of a young life. The sheer number of charges underscored the prolonged and pervasive nature of her abuse. Despite the severity of the charges, the judge released Formella on bond, a decision that sparked considerable debate. However, the bond came with strict conditions: a GPS ankle monitor, no access to minors, and no entry into Downers Grove South High School. These safeguards, while stringent, did little to quell the anxieties of parents. Formella, however, insisted she was the victim. Her defense claimed Jack was obsessed with her, that he manipulated her phone to send messages to himself, and that her incriminating notes were about her husband, Michael, not Jack. But Michael unwittingly became a key witness against her. He knew nothing of Jack beyond soccer, and confirmed that none of the messages or notes pointed to him. Michael's testimony dismantled Formella's fabricated defense, further isolating her and strengthening the prosecution's case. The legal battle was set to be grueling, but the weight of evidence against Christina Formella appeared overwhelming. Chapter 7. Jack's Scars and the Lingering Impact. The damage to Jack was undeniable, profound, and far-reaching. The emotional and psychological toll of betrayal by a trusted adult left scars that extended far beyond the school walls. Once a passionate soccer player, he abandoned the sport entirely. The act of kicking a ball, of being part of a team, became tainted by the memory of his coach, Christina Formella. The sport that had once been a source of pride was now inextricably linked to his trauma. His cleats gathered dust, his jersey unworn, symbols of a stolen passion. Jack grappled with a complex web of emotions: shame, guilt, anger, confusion, and a profound sense of betrayal. Formella's manipulation had distorted his perception of healthy relationships and trust. He struggled with nightmares, flashbacks, and overwhelming anxiety. Forming new relationships, particularly with adults, became a daunting challenge. Therapy became a crucial, ongoing part of his life, a slow and arduous journey towards healing. His family also bore the heavy burden of his trauma. Sarah and Mark, consumed by guilt and grief, struggled to navigate their own pain while providing unwavering support for Jack. Their home, once a sanctuary, now carried the echoes of a nightmare. They sought therapy themselves, trying to understand how they could have missed the signs. They became fierce advocates for Jack, determined to see justice served. The lingering impact extended to the entire Downers Grove community. The scandal forced a painful introspection, a reevaluation of trust in institutions. Parents became more vigilant, demanding greater transparency and stricter safeguarding measures from the school district. The innocence of the community was irrevocably lost, replaced by a heightened awareness of the potential for abuse. School administrators faced the daunting task of rebuilding trust, implementing new training programs, and fostering an environment where students felt empowered to speak out. The memory of Formella's betrayal would undoubtedly shape the district's approach to child protection for years to come. Chapter 8: The Unseen Aftermath and a Call for Vigilance. As Christina Formella awaited trial, the case stood as one of the most shocking breaches of trust in recent records. Her next court date was set for August 4, 2025. However, as of the point the story was recorded, there were no recent public reports on the case, a common occurrence in ongoing legal proceedings to ensure a fair trial and protect the victim's privacy. The outcome of the trial, whenever it concludes, could determine whether Formella spends decades behind bars, a consequence reflecting the severity of her crimes. A conviction would send a powerful message that such abuses of power will not be tolerated. What began with a mother setting up her son's phone has now become a case that will shape the district's memory for years to come. It serves as a chilling cautionary tale, a testament to the insidious nature of grooming and the devastating consequences of unchecked power. The story of Christina Formella and Jack is not just a local tragedy. It is a universal reminder of the vulnerability of children and the critical importance of vigilance from parents, educators, and communities alike. The lessons learned underscore the necessity of open communication within families, encouraging children to speak out about anything uncomfortable. They highlight the need for robust, transparent safeguarding policies in schools, coupled with continuous training for all staff on recognizing and reporting abuse. Furthermore, they emphasize the importance of truly listening to children and taking every report seriously. The Downers Grove community, forever marked by this betrayal, will carry the memory of this case as a somber reminder of its fragility and resilience. It is a call to action, a plea for unwavering vigilance, and a testament to the enduring strength required to heal from such profound wounds. The hope remains that from the ashes of this scandal, a stronger, more protective environment for all children will emerge, ensuring that Jack's suffering and the community's pain will not have been in vain. The outcome of Formella's trial will close one chapter, but the story of healing and renewed vigilance in Downers Grove will continue for generations.